finally, I think it's working here. I think we might actually be live. Stuff's taking forever. All right, I guess we'll get this sucker started. Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry it took forever, but I was struggling with my computer this morning, trying to get a whole bunch of stuff to do. And computer was on, but I guess the graphics card was not. Driver needed to be updated or something, but typical just technical junk. Anyway, what should we do today? I saw that the majority of the big boys were hurting this morning, but looks like the XBI small caps are not doing too bad. All right, but let's take a look quickly at the overall market. Let's start with the SPY first, and then we'll go to the Qs and the diamonds, and then we'll start looking at the healthcare ETFs to see if we can get a pulse for that for the day. So we're up. So they got this is again like you got it drops below, but then when it gets above, right? Finished above on the 19th. Started the day above the previous uptrend ray, right? And then stayed up there, came down, retested. Now we're grinding higher. I don't know what to say, guys. Like this is we're at all-time highs, so what's the path of least resistance? Just more up. Are we going to eventually, at this rate, I think we're going to outpace, the economics, the growth, all that. I mean, you're going to have probably some rotations going on where hopefully the pullbacks in certain sectors are not that bad. And then, as they recover and surge higher, maybe in general, we're constantly just finding ways to, redirect the trading, and the market just keeps grinding higher and higher and higher. Like it did for, I don't know, half a decade there, where there was really nothing going on except might as well just keep going up. And I think we might be there. In the face of all the weird economics that are going on, look at economic growth today, just 10 minutes ago. U.S. economic growth upwardly revised to 3.4 in Q4. Jobless claims are slowing. Seems like the economy is doing better already. And, coming from where we were, and even with all the inflation and, companies cutting back, layoffs, all the uncertainty, I have to say the United States at least is doing all right. Next, let's take a look at the Qs. All right, so she's got a little bit more to come in on. We'll see. So the Qs, diamonds, So diamonds. Now the diamonds were the first one to really start this rally, right? Even just coming up off the bottom. So March of last year, our goal was probably say about by around May we should start seeing a strong inflection. We did get that, and then kind of a retest. But I think the diamonds had the rough time in October. Did this? I don't think the SPY and the Qs. So as the diamonds kind of led, like this is where the Qs and the SPY kind of just especially the Qs obviously took off. So it looks like they might be industrials might be the ones kind of taking over a little bit more here now. They're not struggling as much. So that's where we're at. Okay, so next Qs, SPY, Qs, XBI. Sitting right on top of this monthly anchored VWAP here. Where's that from? Oh, that's from the previous high, right? Yeah, it's from the all-time high. So that's good though. I think that's a good sign. If that's the month, yeah, that's the monthly. If it's dotted, that's the monthly from that all-time high. Now my computer's struggling here again. My graphics card does not like. I have to redo it, I guess. Reinstall it. It's just not as fluid as I'd like it to be. Or it might be the processor, who knows. But we were, bearish for a couple days. Nice big igniting candle yesterday. And we saw that with a lot of the small caps. They did well yesterday, like around noon, or no, 10 o'clock. Yeah, 10, 11 o'clock, we started to see strong inflection off the bottom. So we should see some... What's going on with Nucana? Oh, so reverse stock, or reverse split, yeah. And that's why we've been holding off on those. Those guys have actually, in terms of like their pipeline, is doing... I believe what they do. They do prodrugs, which... are typically great once you figured out, the formulation for it. OPRX. What'd you do? Earnings. So I guess we're just waiting for good earnings, I guess. All right, that's one to keep an eye on, guys. Xeris. I didn't pull the trigger on it recently. I probably should. But this, this is still concerning. There's a huge gap to the anchored VWAP here. So, typically when this happens, when you see a huge gap to the proximal high anchored VWAP, you gotta, either two things gotta happen. Either you gotta really shoot up, make a huge bounce for no reason, or off a catalyst, or you have to wait for, a month or so of just waiting for this thing to slowly drag down, right? And then, again, a catalyst or just a surge in the sector, or in the industry, and you get a nice little pop, and then she can get above it. But this is big. Now, the good thing is that even if she does, like, rocket up, even right now, still the anchored VWAP's below the buy threshold. So we're not in a rush. We're not like running like, it's not like it's overvalued by any means. Now, if you want to grab some here, go right ahead, but it's not a bad valuation, obviously. Yeah, that's it there. Although this is here, you can see 1, 2. So she's there. Questive. I think I gotta adjust my buy and sell targets here. I don't see why she wants to come this far down. So I'll put that on my list to do. My to-do list. It's still outside. It still probably has room to drop, but I don't know. I mean, sell target might be our new buy threshold at this point, which is not that far off in the first place. So Things to do. Recalibrate. IBRX slowly grinding higher. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just if you ignored it for so long. I can't sit here and say that these guys are going to be a massive success commercially, but their pipeline and their technology has really yet to underwhelm. Like, it's taken some time for them to get things done, but they're like, right now, they started off like their blueprint is to dig a hole, or I should say maybe not dig a hole, but to build a skyscraper. But unfortunately, like, it's not going to be the tallest size, not only the tallest skyscraper in the world, it's also going to just going to be the largest and heaviest. And they had to build a foundation that is right now, a mile wide, but only an inch high. That's where they're at. So they have their portfolio is broad, but it hasn't developed yet. They have some things, obviously they're getting close to approval, commercialization. They have the stuff in place. They have the manufacturing. They have everything they really need to launch this. And they haven't stalled the rest of their pipeline to get that done. So they are moving forward with other parts of this. But we have to realize that if they even get one thing on the market, it obviously validates their pipeline, validates their ability to get something done, and they have the manufacturing, so validate that as well as an overall like organization and their ability to get things done. But also at the same time, we haven't seen like their mRNA technology. They're working on NK stuff that's still kind of there. I mean, Antiva, which is what they're kind of pushing forward right now, which is super agonist. Oh my gosh, yeah, they have just that pipeline. Aldoxorubicin, which they got for like pennies, could be one of the best chemotherapies ever. I mean, like, oh my gosh, I gotta do an update on IBRX. It's still ultra speculative, but I don't think people realize the variety, the breadth, and like they could be not just for. I mean, they're doing infectious disease now. I mean, they were going to be like this powerhouse oncology firm, but now it looks like these guys are just going full bore immune. They're just all immune. They're an immune company now. Maybe that's why they're called Immunity Bio. Anyway, so I'll take a look at there. I have to probably adjust. I'm not ready to adjust. I should say that because I shouldn't. We're not approved. We're not getting revenue coming in yet. So I'll hold off on that. mRNA, where are you looking? That's a good... look at this, guys. We're getting close on this one. She struggled yesterday to get through it, but above this proximal anchored VWAP, right up against it. She's pretty tight. Volume is nothing there right now, but you got rising monthly, which is the dotted line here, and you got the daily rising. Got bullish divergence here, right? Or about the same. No, she got a little bit lower. Interesting. I mean, it happened. I mean, that could be just moment. Yeah, it was probably momentary. Yeah, because even right here, even on just this time frame right here, or this snapshot here, you got it going. She did drop a little bit lower, but is this the lowest monthly? If this is the lowest monthly RSI, we might have to be... Yeah, it's the lowest monthly RSI. So we're not... If I could see, yeah, we might have to go lower. We might. But the setup, I mean, if you look at the chart, it's not a clear cup and handle because it's pretty... I mean, we're kind of getting more of the pennant situation here. And you could say it's kind of almost a bear flag-ish. So there's concerns here, except for this last spot. I mean, if you took this out of it and you're looking just here, it doesn't look great. But you got this idea that she came up here, struggled twice, right? So cup, and you get like a mini cup and handle. So you have a bigger one, right, a smaller one, and now maybe a third one. All right, and then rising. You can see it happen multiple times, which is when you start to really say like, hey, you're getting higher lows being set in, constantly attempting to break through, and every single time it gets rejected, you're getting a higher low, right? So it gets rejected once at this resistance level, comes down, finds support, rejected again, comes down, finds support. Now we're here for essentially almost a third time. If it breaks through this downtrend ray and then gets above, 116.50, 117, and then really climbs above this uptrend ray, then we're back on. So above the 200-day EMA, there's a lot of bullish here. It wants to. The question is this resistance level, this uptrend ray, the volume that's been chewed through, is it really just going to want to let it? It's going to need some, momentum, something to really, or something at least to fuel it to get it to go, I think. But even if it just kind of squeaks out and it gets rejected and it comes down hard, say it comes out, gets squeezes out of this downtrend ray under low volume, and then it gets a hard rejection. If it comes down, it hits this uptrend or this downtrend and bounces up, that's a good sign. Then obviously, if it later on fails to get above, but then reacquires this uptrend ray, and then that squeezes out, then you're really looking good. Then you're confirming that what's coming off this bottom is where the market really wants, is what's the direction, what the market's really saying. Anyway, let's end it there. I don't want to go too long. What's going on with you? For being a dividend stock, this thing gets volatile. But maybe we should look at this. I like it. I don't think it's the greatest company, right? But I love it as a trading vessel. I like it, and I just haven't used it as much as I should. Yeah, she looks like a disaster, though. This bounce off the bottom's nice. We do have either double bottom or potential bullish divergence. At least we're getting, not on the daily, on the monthly. Did we get it on the daily, though? We did. We did get essentially on the daily, because here's the lower RSI, which is up here in the share price, lower share price, higher RSI. And then that gives us a little bit of an idea right here, if you look at it, what we're struggling with right now. So she fell below that. So there's some solid weakness there, and you can see that there's, a couple weeks worth of bearish, and you can see from that high. So maybe if you want to look for a spot for a potential turnaround, it'd probably be, yeah, she struggled. Yeah, she failed. Yeah, she's there now. So hold off on it, but keep an eye maybe tomorrow, or if she wants to bounce. There's some support here, so maybe she bounces today and breaks out. All right, I'm gonna end it there. I'm not feeling really ultra motivated to pull the trigger on anything today. It's probably gonna be like a 10:30, probably more like 11 o'clock reversal if we find anything. We're looking for the reversal. We're looking for continuation. If she sells off at the open, like this is the 8 o'clock reset, right? Here it is. We're already pushing up above it. So maybe she sells off, and then maybe this is what we're looking for. If she can break this high in the morning, and then if she can, and there's anything you're looking at, and everything else is looking like a go in the healthcare sector, you might be able to tack onto something. But it's going to be a waiting game unless she just really rockets at the opening with the open bell. All right, gonna end it there. Again, as always, if you have anything you want to ask, tickers, suggestions,